In the wake of a walk-off, the Cincinnati Reds rematch with the Chicago Cubs. It's Game 3 of a 4-game set at GABP. A very pleasant good evening. Welcome on back to Reds Baseball alongside the Hall of Famer, our captain, Barry Larkin. I'm John Sadak. And Lark, expect the unexpected when it comes to baseball. And that really resonated for you in Game 2.
You know, there are certain teams that are certain players on teams that you have to game plan against. I think this team has been so good this year because you don't know who is going to come up. And last night, it was just about everybody that did their job.
The game-tying blow delivered by the former Cub, Nick Martini, off his former teammate, Adbert Alzolay.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about guys stepping up and coming up with big hits right here. CES coming up with the big base hit. Obviously, he's not the base stealer, so you put Stuart Fairchild in the game. He does his job, creates chaos. They throw the ball away. And Noelvi Marte, I think, has just consistently been better and better every single time he goes out there. It really was a team win.
Those City Connect unis not only have flair, they also have finish. 3 walk-offs wearing those majestic unis. The Reds have a winning record. They're 5-3 when they rock the City Connects. We are undefeated when Jim Day is on your TV. We'll go to break. When we're back, Jimmy James to break down the Great 8, all the walk-offs so far this season.
Cincinnati Reds Baseball on Bally Sports Ohio, brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Cincinnati. By Skyline Chili, feeling good, it's Skyline time. And by DHL Supply Chain, now hiring a wide range of salaried, managerial, and operational roles. They're splitting a doubleheader yesterday. Reds and Cubs back at it, and it was a walk-off win last night, the 8th of the season. Nothing better than walk-off celebrations. Let's take you through all 8 throughout this season. Our Elk and Elk storylines will take you back to April 24th, in fact, when TJ Friedel provided it. Jonathan India scoring. That would be the first of many. Nick Senzel, what a walk-off home run. He knew it. Arm in the air. Huge celebration at the plate. You get it done however you can. Senzel again on May 22nd. Sacrifice fly against the Cardinals. We like that. And then here come the rookies. Matt McLain. This will forever be the bubblegum bucket game. Bring on the celebration. Eventually wore that bubblegum bucket. Will Benson, the celebration heard round the world. Bat slam and all on June 7th. Spencer Steer, June 30th in the City Connect. File that away because it's a theme here. City Connect. August 18th, City Connect, CES, Christian Encarnacion Strand, his first walk-off. And then last night, Noelvi Marte in the City Connects. Clean base hit up the middle, Gatorade shower, all good. And the Reds hope that some of that momentum will carry into tonight. Andrew Abbott on the hill for the Reds. It's Game 3 of a 4-game crucial set against the division rival, the Cubs. All the play-by-play action is coming up. John Sadak, Hall of Famer Barry Larkin standing by.
Is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Reds. Gapper and the kids having some fun. Noelvi Marte had himself a night. Not only delivered the walk-off winner that evened the day and the series, but he also proved yet again to be a dynamo defensively.
Well, I think one of the great things about what's happening here in Cincinnati is the fact that we have so many guys, middle infielders, that have the ability to go to the corners, and that's what Noelvi Marte shows, is the ability, the shortstop ability, athleticism at third base. He did a fantastic job. The ball down the line, ranging to his left, attacking the baseball. This team is on an uprise, and these young players are solid ball players. They're going to continue to get better.
We'll see if Marte can aid Andrew Abbott today. His numbers from Western and Southern.
And maybe a little arm fatigue for Andrew Abbott, but you know, he's out there and he's competing and he's going to give you as much as he can. Obviously what we saw earlier this season, that dominance has not been there, but he has shown the ability to compete. Hopefully he will compete today and be able to give David Bell a little bit of length.
Has not gone 5 innings in 3 starts. That was the middle of the month against Cleveland, but certainly has the talent and the stuff. He'll contend with a Cubs lineup that has mashed nearly 6 runs per game since the break. Full 9 from Rally House, Horner, Swanson, and the Reds killer Ian Happ. Cody Bellinger has been a bear. Seiya Suzuki, Yan Gomes, Jeimer Candelario, Patrick Wisdom, and Christopher Morel. Reds need to beat David Ross's team today and or tomorrow. Just one more win and David Bell's bunch would own the tiebreaker against the Cubs. Ideally, of course, they would like to take both contests. Reds began the day a game out, the wild card, 2 back in the loss. Cubs are just 3.5 out in the division. And David Bell's team dealing with a number of issues to the pitching staff. Graham Ashcraft has hit the IL. Brandon Williamson is now on the COVID IL. He was set to start tomorrow. Hunter Green is currently on the COVID IL. The hope and plan is that he could be back for the start of the Cardinals series on Friday. Series of moves made today. Connor Phillips added as a substitute, one of the top pitching prospects. Chasen Shreve, longtime big leaguer, most recently with the Tigers, is up to Cincinnati. Nico Hoerner. First pitch strike. And skips in the dirt. That's something we saw last time out for Abbott at a much higher rate than any other outing on the year. And Luke Maile did a very nice job when there were men on base, keeping that ball on the circle.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing that at all early when he was up earlier in the season. And maybe it is just trying to force that ball down in the zone a little bit more.
Strikes him out with a lively fastball.
And that's what we saw early. Fastball away. Not the invisible ball. You can see that ball down there. We've seen it elevated. But good finish and good ride on that fastball away.
And that's a good point, Lark, as Dansby Swanson stands in. That's the other element that was largely absent against the Giants. Not only was he working down at times in the dirt, but we didn't see with any regularity that finish 4-seam up.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he can't get guys out. Now, there have been 2 definitive segments to Abbott's season. That was his effort against the Giants, 85 pitches to go 3 1/3. The innings are down in part because the walks have been up, a lot of deeper counts. His first 10 starts, he was 6-2, an ERA at 1.9. It changed the last day of July. It was against the Cubs at Wrigley. He went 3 1/3, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks. Not only is the average up, but look at those walk numbers and consider the amount of innings. 2-1. In that first stretch of 10 starts, he was averaging about 2.8 walks per 9. That's very good, especially for a guy who strikes out as many as he does. In that recent run, he is averaging about 5 walks per 9. And yet he is out there competing his butt off. Just misses away. And when you ask Abbott how you feeling, he insists that physically he feels fine. He feels strong. But he is at an innings threshold that he's never experienced.
That's right. Just about everybody on this field is going through that same exact thing.
Misses low on the payoff. Swanson walks.
But you know, John, there's something to be said about being able to go through this period of time where you feel like you're strong, but you don't have your best stuff. You don't have your finish. Listen, we're in September. This is longer than anyone has played on the field, basically. And so next September or in the future, you will have a better idea of how to deal with the fatigue that you say you don't feel. It's okay, you don't feel tired, but you're fatigued, right? The body, it just happens. This is a grueling season.
Ian Happ has been on fire. Abbott misses just low. Happ rides a 10-game hit streak, hitting over .340 with power. He's on base in 17 in a row, and he has ravaged the Reds in this building. Happ lifetime 17 homers here, way more than any other ballpark outside of his major league home in Chicago. Cracked to short, handled by De La Cruz. Full defense for the Reds. One of the heroes last night, Nick Martini in left. TJ Friedl, Hunter Renfroe round out the outfield. On the infield, it's Marte, De La Cruz, Steer, CES, and Luke Maile, who's the only man that has caught Abbott in the big leagues. Cody Bellinger. Awkward check swing and a strike. Bellinger, since the 1st of July, 59 ribbies in 55 games. No other big leaguer is at 50 plus. Smothered in the dirt. He had 4 hits yesterday, Lark, including a home run in each game.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat very well. And I think the thing that's been impressive to me has been his 2-strike approach. His ability to foul off pitches, stay in the count, stay in the at bat, and eventually when he gets a pitch he can hammer, he doesn't miss it.
Dropped by Maile. Swanson holds.
When you get a power hitter who's hitting .320 and has a really good 2-strike approach, that's special.
Two 2-1. Check swing again, and again no appeal. That's a strike. 2-2. And to your point, Lark, you speak of his 2-strike approach. I can't remember check swings like this against the Reds by Bellinger all year. He's at .400 against Cincinnati pitching this season. Struck him out. Fastball up. Bookend K's and a scoreless first for Abbott. Presented by Hyundai. What a return in his first start off the IL, game 2 last night.
I was really watching him after he was making all these hits and seeing how he was running the bases. He looked really good. He looked very comfortable. Obviously swinging the bat very well, at least last night. Certainly nice to see him back.
Full 9. TJ Friedl follows, brought to you by Rally House. Steer, De La Cruz, Martini, Renfroe, CES, Marte, and Maile. They take on Javier Assad, who is back in the rotation, and he has taken to it incredibly well. Assad's breakdown from Western and Southern.
Javier Assad is a pitcher that goes out there and does exactly that. Pitches. It's all about precision with him, not overpowering with his stuff. His fastball sits about 91, 92 miles an hour. He'll cut and sink it. He'll throw a slider, a curveball, as well as a changeup. It's all about execution of his pitches, pitching on the periphery, keeping hitters off balance. And he's done a nice job of that with his numbers in August.
Marcus Stroman had an all-star year, but got hurt right around the time the Reds faced the Cubs at Wrigley. End of July, start of August. Breaking ball floats high. And Assad had been dominant in the bullpen for about 6 weeks. Could be a long guy. Reds have seen him in long relief twice this year. He stepped in for what I think many thought would be a spot start, and was so good he has not let go. The Cubs president of baseball ops, Jed Hoyer, praised Assad about how fantastic he's been in all the different roles he's been placed in. Very wide repertoire of pitches, but ultimately works that two-seamer to get ground balls. Two. To second base, backhand Horner. One down. Defense for the Cubs, the outfield arms. Suzuki the best in right. Bellinger and Happ are average. They're guys the Reds would likely run on. Candelario solid at third. Swanson and Horner are excellent up the middle. Wisdom and Gomes. Swanson the second most defensive runs saved at short. Nico Horner is top 10 among infielders, and he can play many positions. TJ Friedl stands in. Yeah, Lark, you've remarked after a number of plays this series about the efforts of Swanson and Horner up the middle.
Yeah, I really like that play right there. Nico Horner really positioned himself well and worked behind the baseball. And I had a chance to work with Dansby Swanson when he was a young pup, still at Vanderbilt, and he's exceptional. Just very, very, very solid in his approach. He's all about winning.
There's that sinker at the knees. Friedl has been in a rut since the end of the Angels series last road trip, but maybe yesterday he broke out. RBI double in game 2. He connected on a sacrifice bunt. He also, in one of his strikeouts, saw 10 pitches in one of the better at bats of the night.
He was awarded the Heart and Hustle Award before the game today. He exemplifies. If there's a Pete Rose guy on this team, the way that he plays, that's who this young man is.
Horner straight up, 2 down.
Nico Horner was the starting shortstop in Chicago before Dansby Swanson. Nick Madrigal was playing second base. Dansby comes over, he decides to go to second base, and kind of what you're seeing here in Cincinnati. Matt McLain has the ability to play shortstop. So does Noelvi Marte. They've shifted to different positions, and I think it just makes you so much better defensively.
Spencer Steer, the most versatile of these Reds. He's most often, as he is today, at second base right now with McLain on the IL. But time in corner outfield at first and third base. He had 2 hits and a walk yesterday. He's hit .318 against the Cubs on the year. 3 of his team high 18 home runs. Opposite way, base hit. And we've seen more and more of that from Steer in the last couple of weeks.
You'll just love it. This is how you hit 300 in the big leagues. You let the ball travel.
So Steer has a dozen steals. Elly De La Cruz did have a sacrifice, a walk, and a steal yesterday, but was 0 for 7, struck out 5 times.
And did you see the post-game celebration after the Noelvi Marte base hit to win the second game? Elly De La Cruz was the first guy out there. So yeah, he struggled offensively yesterday. But it's all about the team and winning.
Steer bluff, strong pickoff, got him. Kickoff next weekend at the Reds game this coming Friday. After the Reds take on the Cardinals, you can enjoy a spectacular fireworks show presented by Rozzi Fireworks. Get your tickets now, reds.com/tickets. Large crowd here tonight. Andrew Abbott, a couple to strike out, scoreless first. It's Seiya Suzuki to pop one foul. That first inning, Lark, was not vintage Abbott at his best this year, but it did look better, and he did have more finish on that fastball in general and finished up to strike out Bellinger.
Yes, he did. Good to see.
Suzuki doubled and homered, also worked a walk yesterday.
It's normally around the third. Late in the season, it's around the third inning where you will, as an offensive hitter, you're thinking, okay, let's try to get this guy early, but let's really bear down after he has 50 some odd pitches out there. That's when you start to see the ball flatten out if he really truly is fatigued.
Yan Gomes settles in 0 for 4 in game 2. Yeah, think back last year. Green, Lodolo, Ashcraft. There was an underscored urgency that David Bell spoke of many times, and you spoke of this too. The value in having them finish their respective seasons.
Exactly. Because you want to see them pitching in September in a year where you have an opportunity to win, and here we are.
Driven to center. Friedel racing back, changes angle, extends, and he makes the play. Spectacular adjustment mid-flight from Friedel, and he robs Gomes.
TJ does such a nice job of setting his hips and then allowing himself to run that ball down. We call that closing speed. With the full extension. That's a great play right there. Yan Gomes can't buy a hit here in Cincinnati. Hit the ball down the line. Noelvi Marte made an incredible play on it yesterday. And that ball was for the gap. Run down by TJ Friedel.
Candelario. He walked twice, 0 for 4, a strikeout in the Tweenville. Friedel's closing speed on that ball in flight was 29 feet per second. That's top 5% in baseball. You know, his greatest strength, arguably, is how well he reads balls off the bat. But on that particular occasion, it looks like it caught him by surprise. He was more angled gap and then steered himself more straight out at the last moment.
Made adjustments. You're going to see that kind of defense ability from Harrison Bader as well. He can really go get him in the outfield.
Fastball up for third. Another strong inning from Abbott. 1-2-3. Renfroe, he's due up this inning. Could he get his first hit as a Red? It's your turn. Head to the FanDuel app. Check out the odds. Create your own live same-game parlay. Elly De La Cruz was at the plate when Spencer Steer was nabbed off first to end the opening inning. Connects up the middle, skips to center, base hit.
Good swing, Elly De La Cruz. Look how he stayed behind that baseball. That was a controlled up the middle, staying on the breaking ball swing. Good sign.
Nick Martini, game-tying homer in the 9th last night in Game 2. You saw him in the hallway as we were walking down after the game, and man, he was on fire with energy.
Yes, he was. That was a huge home run.
Big lead for De La Cruz, draws a throw. And De La Cruz, the team's co-leader with 24 steals. That matches TJ Friedl. With Stuart Fairchild getting that big steal as a pinch runner in the 9th inning. The Reds have 8 men with double-digit steals for the 3rd time since 1915. It's this year. 1976, the grade 8 minus Pete Rose plus Mr. Dreesen. And your Reds in 1995, when you were part of that octet, along with a man who's making a lot of noise nationally today. Prime time.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
His Colorado Buffaloes beat up on those TCU Horned Frogs. Exciting game.
A few upset Reds at that. Alex Young, a Horned Frog. Nick Lodolo, a TCU man.
I ain't with him.
Decent lead for De La Cruz. Assad peaks. Called strike. Good pickoff. De La Cruz is out. Second Red nabbed off first base today.
Assad has some really quick feet. And perfect timing. Elly De La Cruz definitely leaning.
To second, nice play by Horner. That's a shortstop playing second base.
Yeah, Nico Hoerner does a nice job of working underneath his baseball, keeping his hands away from the body. Look at this. Very well done.
How about this nugget, by the way? Joel Luckup did the digging. Yeah, how many career pickoffs Javier Assad has?
2.
That's right. Both this game. Slider up to Hunter Renfroe. He was 0 for 4 in his Reds debut in Game 1. He pinch hit in Game 2. Lined out to third base.
So I have a question for you. So earlier in the game when Spencer Steer broke towards second base and Assad throws behind him, is that a pickoff or is that a stolen base?
It's both a pickoff and caught stealing.
Ah, okay.
Now Elliott's just a pickoff, but Spencer Steer pickoff and caught stealing.
So my answer of 2 is still correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. 2.1-ish.
lifted foul. Now Renfroe brings two major assets to the Reds, brought in via waivers. He brings pop. He's got 19 homers this year, all as an Angel. That's more than any Red has had on the season. And he also has an outstanding arm in right field. 8 assists this year. Swing and a miss, slider away. The most in baseball since 2017. Minimum to the plate.
For the game, manager David Bell presenting TJ Friedel with the Reds representative as the Heart and Hustle Award, which best embodies the values, spirit, and traditions of the game. It's voted on by the alumni and active major league players. And TJ was there with his mom and dad and his uncle. And I got to tell you, I talked to them before the game. They were so proud. A lot to be proud of with TJ. Speaking of which,
in position to make another play. Records the first out of Patrick Wisdom. That guy just grinds. He gets it on so many levels.
Great word. Very descriptive. That young man right there. It's always been the case as long as he's been a professional in this organization.
Up and away to Christopher Morel. 1 for 5, a strikeout yesterday, and the last calendar month hitting .130. And Friedel has been the anchor in the Reds outfield with the ground he covers, the reads he gets. Arguably the single greatest defensive play of the year, I would contend, was his home run robbery when he looked like the Jordan Jumpman with his feet kicked up in the air, full extension, bringing one back. Full count. Low, a 1-out walk. Man on for Nico Hoerner. He struck out against Abbott to begin the game. Now the Cubs are hot. They have won 10 of 14, 27 of 39. The Reds are attempting to hand them just their second set of back-to-back losses since the calendar flipped to August. I thought the best weapon for Abbott in San Francisco was the changeup. He missed there. It hasn't looked as sharp yet today, but it looked pretty darn good against the Giants. Fastball popped up.
Yeah, I think during the season, you know, depending on how you're feeling, your feature pitch can change. Right, that invisible, we haven't seen it. So the adjustment is, okay, well, I can't get guys upstairs, so let me get them out downstairs with the changeup.
First time he saw Dansby Swanson Swanson worked ahead and worked to walk.
And once again, John, I think it's important for a young guy like Andrew Abbott to go through that, so he now knows going into next season that he has the ability to get him out upstairs as well as downstairs. He can become less predictable and hopefully more effective and more efficient.
Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, stewarding the staff. Marte. Nice pick by Encarnacion Strand. Abbott works around the walk. Grammy Award-winning band Lady A performing live at GABP Saturday, September the 9th, a week from today, part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series presented by Dunkin'. Get your game tickets and field passes now. Reds.com/concerts. Reds owned the night yesterday. Walk-off winner from the man on deck, Noelvi Marte. He joined the man at the plate, Christian Encarnacion Strand, as a bevy of Reds rookies that have delivered walk-off winners. They have had each of the last two. Cracked hard over third. That's down extra bases. Half after it, Encarnacion Strand shoots up to second. Beats the throw standing, a hammered double.
That's just a hanging breaking ball right there. And a really good swing by CES.
You know, not to be lost in the shuffle, guys. Sandwiched in between Martini's tying home run and Marte's walk-off hit was the base hit by CES, which set it all up.
That was a major knock. Marte to third. Candelario darting in, throwing the run, safe. Infield hit on the hustle from Marte.
Maybe a little bit of hesitation from Candelaria because of the runner at second base. Nope. Just the speed of Noelvi Marte speeding out that infield hit.
Marte and Encarnacion Strand do not have otherworldly speed, but they're faster than you'd think. Cubs think bunt, corners in, Maile swing away, grounded to Swanson, shovel to Horner, double play. Encarnacion Strand over to third.
Situation where runners are on base building an inning. The ability to leverage the ball downhill and induce a ground ball. It's by design. As a hitter, you have to know who you are as a hitter and what ball you have a tendency to hit on the ground. Situations like that, you have to eliminate that zone or that pitch.
Well, the Reds have come out liking what they see. Encarnacion Strand doubled on the second pitch. Marte infield hit first pitch. Maile bounced into a double play first pitch. Fraley just whacked a foul first pitch. As it stands, thanks in part to the pickoffs, Assad has been incredibly efficient in terms of pitch count. looking.
And the COVID list. Reds are hoping for reinforcements. Will they get it from a guy like Jonathan India? Well, it's still up in the air. Running today before the game, that is a good sign. Both of them took live BP off of a lone Leishman, that being Joey Votto and Jonathan India. No timetable for each. Obviously, both taking live BP and India running is a good sign. India is still going to need 3 to 5 days of a rehab assignment, so that one is truly day to day. And guys, Rob Butcher sent out an email titled "Last 33 Hours." I counted them, 19 transactions in the last 33 hours.
There have been many hurdles and challenges for this team of late. If the 2023 Reds make the playoffs, they will decidedly have earned it. Ian Happ is lined out to short. The depth of these Reds is being sternly tested by many outside factors, particularly in the last day and a half. Carson Spires is up from Double-A, where he was reconverted back into a starting role. Came across with great polish today, by the way. Really enjoyed meeting him and hearing from him. 2-2.
And all of this is magnified because of the opportunity to possibly get to the postseason. It's relevant because of that. If not, it's just a learning opportunity for some young players to get an opportunity to play in the big leagues. You don't get many chances to win. And so when you do have those chances, you have to take full advantage of them.
Got him! Outstanding play from Andrew Abbott. Our T-Mobile coverage cam.
And the caption underneath this play is one word: athlete. Looked off the third baseman, made sure he was not going to collide with Marte. The spin and the throw. And the stretch by CES.
Reds defense has been on point these last few days. Bellinger fouls back strike one. Abbott starts him the same way he did the first time, coming way in on Bellinger, who had two half-hearted, indecisive check swings. Called strikes at the plate. Oh, 2. Center field floats to Friedel. You know, when you consider last year's rookies, Green, Lodolo, Ashcraft, and their respective rides and their effort to finish their respective seasons, they all had respites during the year due to individual time on the IL. Ashcraft was up, later within the confine of the year for what at first was set to be a spot start. Suzuki, strike one, where Abbott has been healthy and able to make his start on every turn. That reflects well upon him, but also makes the here and now more challenging, more daunting.
Right, for sure.
Opposite way, rolls through. First base hit surrendered by Abbott, comes with 2 outs in the 4th.
And Abbott has been good. He's been consistent. He's been productive. So you don't want to take that out of your rotation. Considering, okay, he's going to meet a limit at some particular point, a threshold. But he's out there winning for us. He's really our only chance at a particular time during the season he was your almost guaranteed win. You can't take that out of the rotation, especially in a season like this year where the division is so winnable.
Changeup misses to Gomes, who is lined to center. Was the nifty play by Friedl in the second. Inside. Snaps for a strike. Hard foul, full count. Suzuki will be off. He goes. Past De La Cruz. Suzuki through second. Martini from left. Lobs to second base. First and third.
Good bit of hitting by Yan Gomes, just staying through the middle with 2 strikes.
Candelario struck out swinging his first time.
And Andrew Abbott is at 58 pitches. So right now, when you're talking about facing a young pitcher, you're saying, okay, now is when we take advantage. Now is stuff starting to straighten out, it's starting to flatten out. He's not going to have the finish on his pitches.
Delayed go from first, fouled back. Cubs showed strong reads and a lot of aggression running on Reds pitching yesterday. Gomes has 1 steal this year, 8 in his career. That's over a decade long. Draws a throw, awkward step back in. Gomes goes again, and Abbott strikes out Candelario.
TJ Friedl leading off for the Reds. He will come to the plate with no walk-up music. You can hear right now, silence. He's the only player on the Reds team, maybe the only player in the league, I don't know. I asked him about it, and he says, it distracts me. Says it makes me want to sing the song because obviously it's going to be one of my favorite songs, so I want no distraction. Another throwback portion of TJ Friedl comes to the plate in silence.
Steely focus. Cutter misses. The more you learn about TJ Friedl, the more there is to like. It's a second. One away. That's already 5 ground ball outs for Javier Assad. Remember, 2 of his outs to this point came after Reds reached on hits. That includes Spencer Steer, who after he singled was picked off caught stealing. Up the middle, Horner can't handle on the backhand. Another hit for Steer.
Line drive to right field earlier. Ground ball right back up the middle. Chance to talk to some really good hitters, and they talk about at times you're a hitter and times you're a slugger. Those 2 at bats, Spencer Steer the hitter.
De La Cruz opposite way with eyes, base hit. Steer challenges, he's through second. De La Cruz up to second. Hat pumps second and third. A Flair hustle double.
That's a base hit. Remember the at bat earlier where Elly De La Cruz got the base hit, and I talked about a controlled understanding they're going to throw me a breaking ball, stay through the breaking ball. Same thing right there. That time the breaking ball got a little bit up his hands, a little bit up the barrel, but because he was in good hitting position, he's able to flare that ball down the third baseline. Those are great signs from Elly De La Cruz. Not the hardest hit baseball, but in a good position to put the ball in play.
Reds lost game 1 yesterday. They did not have 1 extra base hit. They had 4 of them, including Martini's homer in the nightcap. They won the game. He is grounded to second today. Fastball misses. Handled on a stab by Swanson.
It's just unfortunate right here. Nick Martini with a nice swing. Stand through the middle of the ballpark.
There have been 14 completed plate appearances for the Reds offense. 9 have ended in 2 pitches or less. It's only Assad's 42nd pitch. He's allowed 6 hits. He's given up a couple of doubles. Hunter Renfroe struck out his first time. Could he connect on his first hit as a Red and deliver the lead? Oh, 0-2. Off the plate away. He hasn't had an RBI in 2 weeks. That was as an Angel against the Rays. Bounces home. Stays on the circle for Gomes.
So important for the pitcher to have the confidence that he can throw a breaking ball down in the dirt to entice a swing from an aggressive hitter. A lot of trust in Yan Gomes. Nice job of keeping that ball in front.
Two. Topped, runners break. Candelario, do or die, got him. Reds at second and third. They fail to get a run in. Reds baseball on Valley Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by TriHealth. Healing begins with a doctor who hears you. Learn more at trihealth.com/behealed. First pitch lands low to Patrick Wisdom, who is flying to center. He entered tonight hitting .444 against the Reds this year. High fly, playable left center. Martini, one down. Very happy wedding anniversary and birthday going out. Bob and Norma Carmichael celebrated their 75th wedding anniversary over the course of the weekend. Norma also celebrated her 95th birthday. Reds fan since 1941. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday. Up and away to Christopher Morel, who has walked. The effort is a constant from Andrew Abbott, but his execution is as clean as it's been in weeks. He has looked very, very good tonight.
I think it's interesting to see how guys deal with quote unquote fatigue, if that's really what's going on with many of these young players. Some guys actually get better when they're tired. They don't try as hard.
Strike three called.
And that's not just for pitchers, that's for everyday players too. I know Elly De La Cruz talked about when he's tired he doesn't try so hard, and that's just another great pitch by Andrew Abbott. And I think for many pitchers, that's why it's so important for pitchers to pitch in September, so they understand that they still can get through it, although they're not feeling 100%. And they can't give that effort, they can still have that execution.
Nico Hoerner has struck out. He is popped to short. Abbott has yielded only a couple of hits. The first came with 2 outs in the fourth. And yet I do feel like he's looked better as the game has gone deeper.
I just think he has a really good feel for competing. You know, I feel like he throws different pitches based on what he feels and what he sees. You know, he understands the art of pitching. And when you don't have high 90 stuff, you have to learn to pitch early.
To short. On the backhand off Elly De La Cruz's glove. Hoerner aboard E6.
A little bit of hesitancy from Elly De La Cruz. He's got to go attack that baseball. Gets caught in between. See how he slows down right there. You accelerate through that baseball, you catch it on a short hop. That's a tough play. That's a tough error, but you got to go get that big hop right there. You got to go get it.
Cubs' best base stealer is on. Yan Gomes ran on back-to-back pitches from Andrew Abbott. Gomes has 8 career steals in over a decade in the big leagues. He seemed to have a read on when Abbott was going to the plate. Hoerner has 35 stolen bases. Back-to-back throws before pitch 1 to Swanson.
But no leaning whatsoever from Nico Hoerner. So you would think that Mike Napoli over there is relaying some kind of information.
Pitch out. I can't remember the Reds doing this with any base runner all year. Consecutive throws over and a pitch out of the first pitch of the at bat. Runner goes. Great jump. No chance of the throw. Hoerner has his team best 36th steal.
It's like the Cubs have something, because that's first move right there. That's not reading Andrew Abbott. That's as soon as he picks up, I'm gone. So maybe it's something that they're seeing in his delivery, maybe where he sets his hands. That indicates whether or not he's going to throw to the dish or to first base.
And it felt, Lark, like they had similar reads on several other Reds. Sam Moll, as a lefty, was read similarly yesterday. Swanson has walked. He has bounced to third. Fastball by him, full count. Timeout for the batter, Swanson. Payoff. Line. Foul. Cubs have only had one other chance with men in scoring position. It came last inning. That was first and third. And Abbott struck out Candelario. Lifted to routine center. Scoreless halfway home. Hit and win sign during the game. Ryan from Alexandria, Kentucky wins that brand new built in the USA 2023 Tundra. Register for your chance at your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Oh, beautiful night. Scoreless game. Bottom 5. Christian Encarnacion Strand pummeled a double. That was leading off the third. Left his bat at 109.1, his hardest hit ball in the big leagues. We have seen more and more hard contact from CES in the last week plus. We've also seen Assad largely in the zone, and his pitches appear appetizing. Reds are swinging. They do have 6 hits. He has only struck out 2. He has walked none. Cutter away. I feel like the cutter's been making a comeback, Art. There are many on this Red staff that employ it. It was a very en vogue pitch for a long span of time, championed most significantly by Mariano Rivera. And I feel like it's coming about a lot more as something else to keep hitters off. Connects on the sinker, strike 3. Word now from First Financial Bank.
Earn it, save it, grow it with First Financial Bank. Boost your savings with a high money market rate or CD rate. Visit bankatfirst.com or stop by today. First!
Called strike, cutter away to Marte. The zone has been inconsistent on both sides. Marte is an infield hustle hit.
Why not? Go right back out there.
In just 3 games this series, Marte already has 4 base hits. He's made a number of stellar defensive plays. Chopper, tough play. Swanson in, bare hand. Another infield hit for Noelvi Marte.
They're going to challenge this one. Do or die play. And look where
Chicago's challenging the safe call at first base.
Look where Patrick Wisdom is on this base. He's not on that far front corner. He's kind of in the middle of the base. I believe if he's on that front corner, he's a little closer to that throw. Wow. Awfully close.
It doesn't have to hit the rear pocket. It has to just begin to enter the plane of the glove.
After review, the call's been overturned. The runner is out. Chicago returns the challenge.
From infield hit to 6 exclamation point 3.
Safer out. Outstanding play by Dansby Swanson. Do or die. For Patrick Wisdom, where he was towing that bag, think about it. If he can get to that front corner, that throw come from that side of the infield, just physically you're closer to it.
Wisdom making just his 8th start of the year at first base. He's only had a little more than 30 lifetime. Bailey has bounced into a double play. And the arrival of Candelario returning to the Cubs has pushed Wisdom out of regular play and often off of third base. Struck him out. Slider would dive away. Strikeouts are StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud.
You can see 3 of the 5 at least out of the strike zone, but his ability to stay out of the middle of the plate. He's only given up 2 hits. He's been exceptional.
His velocity is up a bit tonight on pretty much all of his pitches. He's been sitting at 93 on the fastball. That's the pitch he's used the most, almost 60% of the time. 0-2 on Happ, who was lined to short and bounced back to Abbott. That was an excellent play in the 4th inning. Abbott has not gone 6 innings in just over a month. It was in Milwaukee, 25th of July, when he went 6 scoreless, struck out 9. His next start, he faced the Cubs in Wrigley last day of July and was touched for 4 runs, failed to go 4 innings. The numbers have been largely inconsistent since then. Marte charges. Nice fluid glove exchange. Got him. He has been poetry at third base.
Really good attack by Noelvi Marte. We call this playing downhill. Go get it right now. Continue to run through the throw. Really nice job.
Bellinger is struck out. He is flied to center. 3rd straight at bat. Abbott buries a pitch in to start Bellinger. He stood and watched a changeup second pitch his last time. Breaking ball curls down. Landed front door, curveball strike. Chip to right, base hit. Just the 3rd hit surrendered by Abbott, all singles.
Well, he's been throwing him in. That time in for a strike. And on the hands of Bellinger, cannot allow him to extend.
Now Bellinger is the 2nd most steals on the Cub. Remember the back and forth with Horner before he stole in the 5th. Suzuki at the plate. Runner goes, pick off. Encarnacion Strand down. He is picked off.
Yeah, there's something that the Cubs believe that they see. Green lighting them to go and steal on first movement. Nice job by CES at first base. Getting rid of that ball quickly.
Suzuki singled his last time. He is flying to right. Nice pitch, 1-1. Routine right. The fight and finish of Abbott tonight, exemplary. Saturday, September 9th, they battle the Cardinals. Fans in attendance can add to their collection a Nick Lodolo bobble, courtesy of Every Watch Has a Story, while supplies last. No score, 6th inning. Jake Fraley leading off. He's 0 for 2, ground out strikeout. He's playing on a broken toe. Jim Day, what's it been like for Fraley these couple of games played on that broken toe?
Well, as we've said, it's a pain tolerance injury. Actually, what hurts the least is what he's doing right now. When he's in the batter's box, and the art of hitting, he says, doesn't hurt him. Now, when he runs, that's a different story. We saw him between first and second base. Although moving pretty good, you could tell he was still wincing. That's when it hurts. But actually swinging the bat in the box doesn't hurt him. They prepare him each day. There's not much you can do for a toe. He said they just do a tape job on the bottom of his foot. Other than that, quote, just rock and roll with it.
He spoke at great length his first day back in the clubhouse about trying to be part of the playoff push, and spoke, I think, rather poignantly and with great awareness about how the timing might be good. If this had happened in May, he's not going to play through that for the rest of the year. He's probably going to have surgery, and depending upon timing, little bloop to right. Off the glove of Horner with extension. Fraley is on to spark the 6th. And Horner slow to get up.
It's like he came down hard on those ribs.
TJ Friedel is grounded to second twice. Candelario shallow, pitch away. But by the injury happening now, and the doctors have said Fraley cannot worsen his condition, he'll need surgery almost assuredly no matter what. He can try to push through. That's a tough guy who cares about his team. Two and 0. Reds have had a rough time against starters. Tonight marks the 7th time in their last 10 games they have been shut out through 5 innings. The 3 outliers, exactly 1 run in each of those 3 games through 5 innings. (3-0). Can almost see the facial expression of Jake Fraley. I'm not going. Full count. Timeout for Friedel. Assad has gone to that cutter. The rare times he's been even or behind. The finishing pitch, he's landed that 2-seamer, and he's also thrown that slider that has a lot of English to it, some dive near the plate. Fraley goes. Pitch is called down, and that's a walk. Back-to-back Reds reach to begin the 6th. Our Medical Mutual 5-star report. Spencer Steer leads the team in hits, doubles, homers, ribbies, and total bases. The last Red to lead in hits, Votto at 08, doubles, Billy Hamilton 14, homers, got to go back to 83. No Reds rookie has led the team in all of those categories. Votto took some live BP on the field. First time he has done that as he's on the mend. Fastball strike to Steer, who has singled twice. Reds have had a hard time squaring that cutter. 0-2. Two and two. Between both games of yesterday's doubleheader, the Reds had 4 hits and 18 at bats with men in scoring position. They are 1 for 5 tonight. Fisted flare. Horner handles. Throw to second. Got him. Double play. Fraley remains on the bag. Might the Reds challenge? They will.
Well, Nico Hoerner has made some plays defensively today. Here's the throw. Kind of caught in between Dansby Swanson.
Cincinnati is challenging the out call at second base.
I mean, Hoerner's been all over the field.
Is it 2 on, 1 out? Or 1 on, 2 out for De La Cruz? Here's the word.
After review, the call stands. The runner is out. Cincinnati loses the challenge.
That is a rough double play for the Reds. They have had 4 men eliminated on the bases. Now you've got to think Friedl is going to try to find a window and to be aggressive. He and De La Cruz co-lead the Reds in steals. De La Cruz is singled and doubled. One to know. One and one. De La Cruz has not had a 3-hit day in just over a month. It was his 4-hit effort at Dodger Stadium on the 30th of July. While the strikeouts have ticked up for De La Cruz, part of the message, you do see a pitch to hit most at bats. Don't miss it. Tops a foul. And in this young man's defense, he's 21 years old with relatively limited minor league experience, playing his first major league season. We get to watch these Reds games every day. He gets pitched harder than any other Red. Friedl goes, great jump, pitch up, throw down. Got him! Bring your furry friend with you on Wednesday, September 6th. Watch the Reds battle the Mariners. Visit reds.com/park for both tickets and more information. Buck Farmer is up in the Reds pen. No score in the 7th. First pitch misses low from Abbott. Yan Gomes is lined to center, robbed by Friedl. He is singled to left. Nice backdoor breaking ball for a strike. De La Cruz on the backhand, longer throw. Got him. Time now for word from the good folks at Miami Valley Gaming.
You can pack light on your next trip to Miami Valley Gaming, as long as you've got your lucky Buckeye.
Both the Buckeyes and your Wolverines victors today. Backdoor strike in Candelario, who has struck out twice. Left field with Carey. Gone. His 20th. First run of the game posted by the Cubs.
Replay play of this pitch right here. Not a bad pitch over the middle of the plate, but down, and Candelario just does a nice job of staying through this baseball. Nice stroking it out the ballpark.
Well, right after one of the most frustrating half innings for the Reds offense on the year, Candelario stakes the Cubs to a lead. David Bell makes the move. Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Abbott was outstanding. Outstanding effort from Andrew Abbott tonight.
I think that's a great way to describe it. Frustrating night in the fact that offensively had so many opportunities today, not able to cash in. That guy deserves better than that. Just giving up that one run. But he battled. We talked earlier in the game about him possibly being fatigued. But we also talked about his ability to compete while going through this fatigue. He was outstanding, as you said, John.
Went into the 7th. David Bell goes to his bullpen, and Buck Farmer. Cubs counter as Mike Tauchman is going to stand in and hit for Patrick Wisdom. Tauchman, the leadoff man in each game yesterday. Singled, scored 1 for 4 in the opener, 1 for 5 rather. He was 0 for 3, a walk in the nightcap, bounced into a double play. Farmer went a scoreless inning in the nightcap yesterday. Walked Candelario with 2 down. Popped up. Bailey. 2 down. Farmer with over 60 outings. He's top 5 in the National League. Morel tried to check, clearly went. He has walked and struck out tonight. To left field, foul. One and 2. Broke his bat. Farmer got him.
Oh, we've seen these pitchers make some very athletic plays. Check to make sure you don't run into your third baseman. Buck Farmer with the play.
College students, bring your Cincinnati Reds to school with you with MLB TV. Receive a free subscription to MLB TV when you attend a game. Blackout, other restrictions apply. MLB.tv for details. What a baseball sky. Strike 1 on De La Cruz. Mike Tauchman stays in the game in center. They bump Cody Bellinger to first base with Wisdom out of the game. De La Cruz was at the plate when TJ Friedl was caught stealing. Reds have 7 hits. They've drawn a walk. They do not have a run. Pickoff caught stealing in the first, pickoff in the second, double play bounced into in the third, a pop fly double play in the sixth, and a caught stealing that same inning. Now trailing for the first time tonight. De La Cruz down on strikes. And a familiar face warms in the Reds bullpen. Poised to make his first big league appearance in over a couple of years. Welcome back, T.J. Antone. Coming off a second Tommy John, he was openly emotional earlier today. Nick Martini is grounded out, lined out. Yeah, I thought Antone had perfect perspective. He said he was in the bullpen in the late stage last night when Martini homered, and he felt the buzz and the energy in the ballpark. And he said to himself in that moment, yes, this is why I'm here. Martini to center. Tauchman tracks it down. Hunter Renfroe is struck out. He is grounded out. He's got the power that could tie the game in one swing. A large crowd that has seemingly become more flush as the game's worn on. More seats even in the upper deck have filled in. The lower bowl is saturated. Three and 0. Incredibly careful to Renfroe. And it's more than a sprinkle of blue mixing in with the red in the stands. To short. Reds in order for the second time tonight. League mound for the first time in over 2 years. He was authentically emotional earlier today.
There were points that I thought about getting off the roller coaster, to be honest with you. There were days when, I had those conversations with my wife. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can keep going. This hurts, And she encouraged me and pushed me. And sorry. There's a lot of people that helped me along the way.
A man beloved by his teammates, who was constantly helping others on the mend. During his rehab from a second Tommy John, he made it his mission to go out of his way and to be kind to as many minor leaguers that were there as possible, to be as welcoming and inclusive, to help guide them. In a moment that was so Antone, Jim Day, you realized he was back when he embraced you last night.
Well, no one knew if he'd made it to the ballpark, and I'm waiting on Noelvi Marte to do an interview, and all of a sudden someone taps you on the back, and he looked at me. His base hit there, as genuine as you can get, knowing the path, and he just looked at me and said, I'm back. I made it.
A super talented, tremendously kind human being, and a reshaped pitcher after a second Tommy John. He talked earlier today about how he's reincorporated a two-seamer, something he last used in the minors in 2019. He said, "I'm getting ground balls now."
Well, I got a chance to watch Antone pitch down in AAA. And you can see right there was the fastball at 96 miles an hour. I'm sure he has a little adrenaline. I actually saw him touch 97. But the pitches seem to be a little bit different. The curveball doesn't seem to be as big.
Ground ball, De La Cruz, shovel to second, bare hand, double play! What a pivot from Spencer Steer!
Yeah, that was a nice job right there by Spencer Steer, going to the bare hand. Quickest way to get rid of it. Nicely done. Good footwork. Good stretch by Encarnacion Strand. Nicely done.
Now, Antone said, and we've seen it already, he still has that four-seamer, and he has both breaking balls, the curve and the slider, but that more of the time he'll go to a lower 90s ground ball inducing sinker. Ian Happ.
Like that one right there. The ground ball to Elly De La Cruz for the 6-4-3. We'll take that all day long.
There's been a high bar set for pitcher defense so far. Chases that curveball. We saw a great play from Abbott that robbed Happ in the fourth. We saw an excellent play from Farmer, dispatched to Morel just last inning. For a while, Antone was rocking some braids that he got with his wife while on vacation in Mexico. He had just taken them out, apparently was planning a very new look do, and got word he's coming to the big leagues. So he's letting it flow in a way that he said would make his dad happy. And he strikes out Ian Happ. Welcome back to the big leagues, Tejay Antone. He retires the top three for the Cubs. Tejay Antone, the strikeout to punctuate his first inning back in the big leagues, spoke today about the privilege and honor it is to be a big leaguer and how that resonates with him so much more now, just back after a couple of years. Rolled by Encarnacion Strand. Horner. Another ground ball for Assad, who now has the longest outing of his big league career. First time he's recorded an out in the eighth. Noelvi Marte has one infield hit. On live umpire call in the fifth, he had a second, but a challenge turned it to a ground ball out. Mark Leiter Jr. warms behind Assad. Reds have both Sam Moll and Alexis Diaz standing in their bullpen. The Reds need one more win with 2 games against the Cubs tonight and tomorrow to get the tiebreaker. They could really use both games. Tough pitch, slider, strike 3.
It's a real good tight slider, late breaker. Assad has done just a nice job of pitching in and away to those right-handed hitters, running balls in on them with that sinker. And then that tight slider away.
Will Benson pinch hits. Assad gets a visit from pitching coach Tommy Hotovy. Word now from Academy Sports and Outdoors. Leiter gets ready. Now Leiter's splitter is an equalizer against lefties, something the Reds have seen firsthand, most noticeably the last series at Wrigley. They did face Leiter last night. Splitter was very good, not as sharp as it was in Chicago. Benson has faced Assad twice. He's 1 for 2 against him. Ball 1. Benson is the only left-handed bat on the Reds bench. The remaining sticks all right-handed. Bader, Senzel, Fairchild, and Stevenson, who will have to be in to catch next inning. Check out bottom of the screen what Benson's done as a pinch hitter. 4 for 9, double, home run. No doubles at first from Bellinger. Bellinger is about as deep and tight to the line at first base as I've seen anyone play against the Reds all year. Cubs pitching has faced the minimum since De La Cruz's double in the 4th inning. Tomorrow the series wraps up. We invite you to join us for Reds Live, the pregame show from Ray St. Clair Roofing. Red starter is TBD. It was sent to be Brandon Williamson. He is on the COVID IL. Jameson Taillon, the scheduled man for the Cubs. Strike 3 called. Assad, a career high 8 innings. He's tied his career high with 7 strikeouts. Cincinnati Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by Jake Sweeney Chevrolet, serving the tri-state for over 100 years, and by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put their financial strength behind you. On the banks of the Ohio, we revisit the FanDuel same-game parlay. No hit for Renfroe, no double for Steer. Cody Bellinger leads it off in the visiting ninth. He has 1 total base. New pitcher for the Reds and a new catcher. Sam Maul is on the pitch. Tyler Stevenson receives. Bellinger 1 for 3 tonight. Maul struck him out yesterday. Bellinger calls his timeout.
Sam Maul has been on a pretty good streak recently. Hasn't allowed a run since the series against Miami in August. 12 of his 13 appearances have been scoreless as well.
1-2. So he has shown that wide sweeping breaking ball at 81. Now that diving sinker at 95 got fouled back. Bellinger this year has actually hit lefties better than righties. Reds in the home ninth at top of the order. Fraley, Friedl, Steer. Can Maul ensure it's a one-run game? Full count. Struck him out on a fastball.
Well, challenging him with the fastball. Cody Bellinger just swinging right through it. So Andrew Abbott throw a lot of fastballs up and in to Bellinger as well.
Suzuki is singled, 1 for 3, couple of fly ball outs to right. Up and in. Looking forward to the home ninth. Mark Leiter Jr. continues to warm. The Reds got to the Cub closer, Adbert Alzolay, last night as he blew a save in his second consecutive appearance. Four-pitch walk. Now, Suzuki's not a very good base stealer. He has taken 5. He's been caught 6 times. But remember last night, while Maul has done a good job of limiting runs on his line, he inherited man on 2 out. Nico Horner got a great read, stole second, and then Ian Happ connected on a base hit. That meant a run. 5 straight out of the zone, falls behind Gomes. Six in a row out of the zone. Steer, sliding stop, short way, second, lost by De La Cruz. Both men safe. E6 on De La Cruz.
Really nice play by Spencer Steer and a good feed. Looks like Elly was trying to throw the ball before he caught it. That was the right move. Throw it to the outfield side. So he went with the ball. Both didn't secure it.
Candelario to third. Marte in. Throwing the run on time on target. Both men move up. 2 errors in the game, both charged to the Reds' young shortstop.
Another nice play by Noelvi Marte at third base. Doing a nice job of playing downhill. Really attacking the baseball.
Nick Madrigal is going to stand in to hit. Stands in for Tauchman. He is hard to strike out. And here comes Derek Johnson, who asks for time. Stay with us after the game. Reds Live, the post-game show, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. BG and Sammy on standby. Jamie giving away. What's up, man? Everyone surrounding the bar. Getting set. Could it be another rally red finish? Alexis Diaz stands in the Reds bullpen. What do you want Maul to do against a contact guy like Madrigal?
Well, strike him out. That's what I would love for him to do right here. Nice sacrifice fly would be fine with 2 outs right here.
Yeah, I wonder how aggressive you are, though, because Morel is very pitchable. He has been in a month-long slump on deck.
Well, you're certainly not thinking of just throwing the ball down the middle of the plate, so you're just going to pitch competitively. I don't think Morel nor Madrigal. You're concerned with Morel hitting the ball at the ballpark, but you're going right at these guys and you're just competing.
Yeah, Madrigal is one of the hardest men to strike out of the big leagues right now. Morel entered hitting 130 in the last calendar month. And a warning from home plate man Laz Diaz to Maul. Make sure Madrigal has his eyes up. And it makes contact with you before you begin your motion. Got the knob. Oh no, up the handle. Madrigal is just shy of 250 plate appearances. He has struck out 21 times the whole year. Can Maul punch him out and send the Reds bottom 9 down a run? Chopped right side. Encarnacion Strand backhand pitcher cover. Foot race. Got him. Another big defensive play by a Reds pitcher.
Really nice play right here, and then as you mentioned, a foot race. Sam Maul getting it done.
Defensive changes for the Cubs. Cody Bellinger is back in center. Jeimer Candelario has got across the corners from third to first. Nick Madrigal, who pinch hit, stays in as the third baseman. With the top of the order due up for the Reds, Mark Leiter Jr. looks for the save.
Well, as you mentioned, no Alzolay, who blew the last 2 chances. So going with Mark Leiter here. And with that split that he throws, split changeup. That's his defense against all this left-handed hitting. Fastball and that split changeup, the cutter and the curveball.
Leiter has had 1 save and 2 tries since the 2nd of June. If Fraley were to reach, you have to think the Reds would run for him. Ball 1. He is in the DH spot. Reds have both Bader, Fairchild, and also Senzel on the bench. Bader, the most accomplished base stealer of that trio. High fly. Foul ground. 1-1. Fraley tonight has a base hit, a strikeout. He is grounded to second. No team in baseball has more comeback wins than the Reds. They notched their 42nd yesterday. They have also spent the bulk of the year with by far the most one-run games. Alexis Diaz watches, glove on, from the Reds bullpen. Hard foul. Bader at the ready, helmet on to run. Full count. Line to right. Over the reach of Suzuki. Fraley shoots up to second. A leadoff double, the tying run in scoring position. Here comes Bader to run for Fraley.
Well, this was a misread by Seiya Suzuki in right field. The line drive had some top spin on it. Nice stroke by Jake Fraley. But Suzuki broke in on that ball. And then had to adjust.
TJ Friedl, one of the best bunters in the game today. Corners tight. He has walked. He's 0 for 2. Square. Foul. What are you thinking on a bunt try here?
Well, you want to try to get this ball to the third baseman. The play that the Cubs have on right now is they're trying to cut that runner down at third base. If that ball is not bunted to Madrigal, he's going to try to get back to the bag and avoid Bader from coming to third base. So TJ Friedl wants to bunt it fairly firm.
Bader goes, great jump, pitch up, throw down. He stole third. His first swipe is a red. The tying run 90 feet away with nobody out.
And the Cubs are going to challenge that he possibly came off that bag after he slid in. But this is the thing about Harrison Bader.
Chicago Cubs are challenging a safe call at third base.
Yeah, he didn't come off that bag.
Let's see it all the way through.
This is right up the wheelhouse of Harrison Bader. That's the kind of aggressive play that he's had throughout his entire career. Maybe when he stood up.
The Reds have seen runners cut down at an alarming rate tonight. Denied on a couple of pickoffs. And in a double play on the ground, a pop fly double play. Critical call to come here on the challenge. Clearly on the bag throughout this time. That right cleat is still on with the heel. Now the left cleat is on.
I think he's off that bag. If they don't call timeout, I think he is off that bag at some particular point. And Madrigal has that glove on him. Can we see that again?
Here's the word. Here's the word.
The call's confirmed. The runner is safe.
Safe. Oh, an exhale. Yeah. The infield will come in. So now the Reds have Friedl at the plate, Steer on deck, De La Cruz in the hole with one of their faster men at third base and nobody out. Suzuki is the strongest arm in right. Bellinger and Happ are average in center and left. Up and away. The Reds have 8 walk-off wins this year. Can a 9th be in store tonight? 3-1. The Cubs bullpen is empty. It's on Leiter. And he walked it. A quartet of Reds rookies have delivered walk-off moments this year. That includes Spencer Steer. That was against the Padres when he ripped a no-doubter off the second deck and left.
With the infield in, depending on where the middle infielders are playing, as a base runner at first base, you can steal second base, take away the possible double play.
Friedl has been caught stealing tonight. The Reds executed a delayed double steal to get a run last road trip.
You see Nico Hoerner. Nico Hoerner is playing fairly close to second base. So they are not giving it away whether or not they're throwing through on a steal attempt or not.
It also opens the right side, and remember, very often of late, Steer has been able to go opposite way for singles. Got him, bases loaded. Tommy Hotovy out to chat. Steer pushes Friedel up to second. They are loaded for Elly De La Cruz.
As a hitter right here, you're just thinking, okay, all I need to do is get a ball elevated or a ball where I know I can square it up. Infield's playing in, so if I don't hit this ball right directly at someone, it's a base hit.
4 Reds rookies have had their walk-off moment. Elly De La Cruz could have become the 5th.
Short and direct to the ball.
Strike 1. Single, double, strikeout for De La Cruz tonight. The Cubs just now have Jose Cuas warming in their bullpen. He was their starter yesterday.
Well, you're thinking if you can get through this at bat with Elly De La Cruz.
Line to right, base hit! Bader breaks, he scores, stop sign Friedel. De La Cruz a wide berth, slams on the brakes, he's able to retrieve. Elly De La Cruz ties it with a bases loaded base knock.
Well, he hit this ball so hard it got to Suzuki quickly. And J.R. House with the stop sign at third base. Elly De La Cruz was running around first base as if that was a game winner. He assumes with T.J. Friedel on second base, he's going to score. But you can see the stop sign from J.R. House at third base.
Now Nick Martini, infield remains in. First pitch. Lifted high in the air left side. Swanson out, Happ in, very shallow left, staggered grab. That's still just the first out, bases loaded. The 2 additions via the waiver wire can have a chance for their first big Reds moments. It was Bader that pinch ran, stole third. He is in as the tying run. And with Renfroe searching for his first hit as a Red, David Ross is going to make a pitching change. Leiter loads the bases with nobody out. Got a fly ball. He'll give ground to Jose Cuas. It's all tied. Bottom 9. The Reds have forged a tie. Bases loaded, 1 out, and now something you rarely see. The man who started last night's game 2 of the doubleheader, granted he was an opener, comes on in the 9th the next day. It's Jose Cuas.
Well, because he is a sidewinder and throws from underneath, you're looking for, if contact is made, for that contact to be on the ground. He comes in the game looking for either a strikeout or a ground ball, and you see now the middle infielders are playing kind of in between, coming to the plate and a double play. You're thinking ball hit at you, ground ball hit at you. If it takes you to the bag, double play. If it's slow and it takes you to the plate, cut the runner out at the plate.
Hunter Renfroe looking for his first hit as a Red. Oh, 1. Grounded sharply. Backhand. Second to first. Not in time. Friedel scores and the Reds win. Their 9th walk-off success of the year. Their most in a decade. They have secured the tiebreaker, and they can go for the series tomorrow.
First base.
The Reds were uncertain if they could celebrate. Review will prove, yes, sir.
After review, the call is confirmed. The runner is safe. Game's over.
Blanked going into the ninth. The Rally Reds roar again. Their baseball best 43rd comeback win.
Well, it certainly was a frustrating day offensively for this team, but they, as always, seem to always figure out a way to get it done at the end. And they just keep coming at you and grinding it out. And wow. What another thrilling win. Andrew Abbott pitched exceptionally well, I thought. And then that offense just keep plugging away. And it was definitely frustrating with the pickoff attempts or the pickoffs. Some, I think, mental mistakes on the base paths, but continue to stay at it and grind it away. And Harrison Bader with the stolen base at third base, then Renfroe with the ground ball to drive in the winning run. What a game.
RBI fielder's choice. Elly De La Cruz tied it. Hunter Renfroe's contact wins it. So the two men added via the waiver wire, highly impactful in this final inning. Jim Day is with the man who delivered the winner.
All right, John, thank you very much. Hunter, take us through that. You're wanting to endear yourself to a new fan base. Take us through the situation there.
Yeah, I mean, looking for a heater, looking for a sinker in, trying to get something elevated. Danzy made a hell of a play out there, and I was able to beat it out.
Tell me about what were you thinking going down the line, that the game depends on me getting to first base?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing everything I could to get there fast as I could. So, like I said, I did not expect him to catch the ball, but he did. Made a hell of a play. Lord bless me, I was able to get down the line fast enough and got there.
Well, how about the two guys that were picked up on waivers? Bader steals third base. You come through in the end.
I mean, incredible play by Bader right there. Really smart. He saw the third baseman playing up right there. Knew he had a chance to get down the line and get to third base. And obviously, the guys in front of me did an incredible job of getting me in that position right there.
You've played in meaningful games again. How about the energy of this crowd and this team?
It's incredible. I mean, this young guys right here have a ton of heart. Showed the last two games what we're made of, and I'm just glad to be here and glad to get a few wins.
I know that you haven't been here long, but I'm down in the dugout and I can hear several players saying the Red Legs are back. Do you feel like this last two wins can springboard you the rest of the month?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, I've been, like I said, I've played on a lot of meaningful baseball clubs and played in October, and these guys have what it takes. The pitching staff's doing great. I'm going to get some guys back off of injury and off of IL, so it's going to be fun to watch this whole next month.
Congratulations. Go celebrate with the boys.
Thank you.
That is Hunter Renfroe. What a finish. Rally Reds again. John.
Well, thank you, Jim. The last time the Reds had this many walk-offs, 2013. The fight in this team seems to be back. They have handed the Cubs just their second set of back-to-back losses since the start of August, and that the celebratory scene. A much-needed win for the Reds. Post-game still to come. BG Sammy and a sea of fun at the desk. Reds live on the other side. Reds roll 2-1.